I've had the pleasure of going from one lawyer to 50 employees over the last 35 years. And one of the key aspects when you interview a potential employee is, this is America. So I'll ask, what is your job now? I'm an attorney. And how much are you making? And they'll say, let's say $100,000. It is extremely important in that interview process to know what their salary is when you're trying to negotiate a new salary. I am not the federal government. I do not have slots that has a certain number on it. When you're running a real business and you're asking potential employees to come to work from you, it is a process. The legislature, if any of the people in this room have been an employer and trying to find new employees, you want to know what their salary is. Actually, and it has nothing to do with discrimination, you ask all of your potential employees what they're making. And then you try to give them an offer above what they're making so you can hopefully make them one of your employees. But to put handcuffs on business, to be honest with you, this piece of legislation is probably the most confusing piece of legislation I've ever seen. Anyone here in the workplace who's ever hired anyone has to understand that this is a terrible dilemma for someone. I have to sit there and wait for them to tell them their salary. If a person's making $75,000 and they'll be happy to make $100,000, and my job and the number and the salary in this position is not set, I can't ask the question. I think this is when you talk about bad regulations, bad rules, this tops the form. To extend the application process because you believe that someone would discriminate is a handcuff on business. I would ask all of us to reject this bill. I'm going to turn to my friends on the Democratic side. For any of you who've built a business and hired many employees, 99% of the people, in my judgment, are people of goodwill who don't want to discriminate. This bill is a problem for employers, and those of you, and I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but if you've hired people over the last 10, 20, or 30 years, you'll understand that this bill is a problem practically for employers. And I would urge you not to vote for it, but vote for the laws against discrimination.